What's up, Internet? It's Dumbass Panicos Gaming, and we're playing Let's Go Eevee again, and we're shiny hunting. And it's not going to be one of the fun Eevee shiny hunts. So, as far as my my shiny living dex goes, I still have 4 Alolan forms that I won't be able to hunt in any Switch game but the Let's Go games. Because stuff like Muck, I'll be able to hunt for in, or we assume we'll be able to hunt for in Scarlet and Violet. Because other regional forms are in Scarlet and Violet, and Muck and Grimer are in Scarlet and Violet, so that should mean that I can bring over the Alolan forms and shiny hunt them. Alolan Diglett, Alolan Meowth, I can do those in Sword and Shield. But there's 4 that are still going to be tied to just these games for the time being. Or, sorry, 2 of them are going to be exclusively tied. Those are Rattata and Raticate. And then there's also 2 that are kind of tied to this game, being Raichu and Marowak, in that you can get, or you can import Raichu and Marowak into Sword and Shield, and also Raichu you can import into Scarlet and Violet. And you can get Alolan Raichu and Alolan Marowak from Dynamax Adventures as shinies, but you can't breed for them and like evolve them because there's no way to evolve a shiny Pikachu into shiny Alolan Raichu or a shiny Cubone into shiny Alolan Marowak, except for in the Alola games, Gen 7. I guess this game's technically Gen 7 too, but specifically Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. So pretty much the only way to get those, especially Rattata and Raticate, is via the trades in Let's Go Eevee. And there's no way to make these any better. So you can't do the trades over and over again, thank God. So you can kind of build up an arsenal. I have 50 Raichu and 50 Marowak right now. But there's, like, Shiny Charm doesn't work. There's no, Masuna method or anything. It is just raw 1 in 4,000 odds. Oh, God. You would think I would have finished Registeel before starting another full odds hunt, but no. Why would I do that? Actually, I really can't do any more Registeel. I'll eventually go back to it, I swear, but I've been saying that for over a year now. So, anyways, let's just get right into it. Okay. So yeah, I did a little bit of this off stream today just to make sure that I had everything working properly, because it's been a while since I used the counter. Since what? October, I think? So it's been like 6 months. Plus, I had to get it set up with, like, the VTuber model and stuff, because I haven't done any shiny hunting like this since I've stopped using just a normal webcam. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking about moving in the future here. I'm just going to always, once a week, I'll work on some sort of really long shiny hunt. Like this, or Registeel, or Shaman, Darkrai, Arceus, and BDSP. Just anything that's like full odds. I should probably start working on. And then, yeah, we'll have to see what the other shiny hunts from there. I do want to do some more Violet shiny hunts this week. Just because I need to work on those anyways. Also, just a random NSO game this week. Also, I know I didn't stream very much last week. I'm sorry. I couldn't get myself to do it. I was just being lazy. There's no excuses for me there. Should I actually start this before doing that? Anyways. But yeah, we'll do a random NSO game this week. And then next week, actually, we get Pokemon Stadium finally. Oh, you know what? Right, that's right. Not a random NSO game. In fact, you know what I'll do? I'll play Pokemon Snap this week. That'll work. And then next week we'll do Pokemon Stadium. And then after that, Mario Karts. And then after that, Mario 64. And then we'll finally start doing the random ones. But yeah, I don't know. Once eventually Pokemon Home gets updated, which, you know, supposedly there's an update for these games at the end of this month, but that doesn't mean shit anymore. So who the fuck knows? Maybe we'll get an update for Pokemon Home by like 2038 or something. If fucking Ilka can ever be bothered to do their fucking jobs. Though, again, who knows? With how everything about the Pokemon Company and Game Freak is, it could be just intentional. They're just holding it back just to be stupid. I'm a little frustrated about that, can you tell? Also, still not a single word about the save glitch in Pokemon Scarlet, so who the hell knows there. But eventually, when all that stuff gets sorted out, we'll get into breeding in Scarlet, which will be great. Because I can start working on, like, actually, like, really shiny hunting in that game. And that'll be a lot of what I do in the future. Also, in case you're wondering, literally all this shiny hunt is just mash A. And just check to see if you get shinies. I do believe that when, like, during this animation, like right here, when it shows the Pokemon coming back, it does show it if it's shiny. But it should also show it here. I should actually double... Oh, God. No, I'm like 99... Oh, I should have double-checked that. Well, oh well. The odds of me actually getting the shiny tonight are non-existent, but I'm like 99% sure I've seen that. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say before I got into like how the shiny hunt works. But yeah, it's just 1 in 4,000 odds. Just trade Pokemon over and over. When you run out of Pokemon, reset the game so you get your Pokemon back. And just keep doing that till you finally get a shiny. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. I know it's something about shiny hunting. Yeah, primarily I'll probably be doing like one of these hunts. Again, some really long form hunt once a week. My NSO games once a week. And then try to do some other shiny hunts like 3 times a week. Primarily I want to work on regional forms first. So I'll probably do, like, I already have my Woopers, but I'll probably do the Tauros forms. And then Alolan Muck and Grimer. I always say those 2 backwards, because it's Grimer and then it evolves into Muck, but I always say Muck and Grimer. But yeah, I'm trying to remember, is there anything else I can do in Scarlet and Violet for the Alolan forms? Because I already have all the Galarian forms, thank God. We knocked that out of the way before Scarlet and Violet came out. And boy, did I burn myself out doing those, because I was a little desperate, because I really wanted to get those done. I ended up doing a couple of them off stream, even. But yeah, whatever I can do in Scarlet and Violet, I'll knock those out, and then we'll be working on these a little bit. And then we'll go back and do, like, Alolan Meowth, Alolan Diglett, and those evolutions in Sword and Shield. And if I get to the point where it's just these left, then we'll start going really hard on these. I hope that's not the case, but boy, do I feel like it will be. Because again, 1 in 4,000 odds. It's gonna be a minute. Even though there's only 4 that I have to do, because it's, again, Raichu, Marowak, Rattata, and Raticate. Oh boy. Yeah, eventually I will knock out, or I'll go back to knock out Registeel and Pokemon, I almost said both Sword and Shield at the same time. Shield, yeah, no. But Pokemon Sword, I'll go back to that to knock out Registeel. Just because, well, one, there's no other place that I can really do it. I mean, I would have to do another playthrough of BDSP, which, thing about it wouldn't be too terribly hard because it is a, you know, it is compatible with Pokemon Home. So I could just transfer over the Pokemon that I want to use. But we'll see about that. But yeah, it's mainly the thing is that Registeel, being that I'm already at, what, 3,800 encounters, 3,900, something like that against it in Sword, it feels like a waste to not do it there anymore. Granted, like, if a better way came up to do it that was better odds, then I would switch over. But since BDSP is also 1 in 4,000 odds, but also it's, besides the fact that I think Sword and Shield's probably going to be more watched than BDSP at this point. God, what a... such a shame how just completely abandoned that game was immediately. I know it wasn't like the best game, but honestly, I think it got a lot more shit than it deserved. But being that it like wasn't really a faithful remake of the originals, nor did it properly bring like good features to the table, because like they got rid of unlimited TMs. Why? Like, there was some quality of life stuff they brought over, but then some stuff they didn't. It was just very bizarre. And then also, like, 2 months later, Legends Arceus came out, and everyone was just so thrilled about that, because that was the future of Pokemon. Little did we know that they were gonna not carry over a lot of the really loved stuff from that, but, you know, oh well. I mean, we got the open world, right? And, you know, apparently everyone loved the low frame rate Pokemon animations in the background. They made the whole game run at a low frame rate. Really forward thinking by Game Freak there. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. It just, I feel like BDSP basically got just left behind. But also, again, it wasn't like anything special. It was just like, it was good, but it wasn't anything crazy. But yeah, like I think after I finish up Registeel, I'll go back to BDSP for, again, like Shaman, Darkrai, and Arceus. And then after that, who knows what the hell I'm gonna do. Because by then, I'm sure by that point, honestly, by the time I even have all the Alolan forms, well, we might be at least getting some idea about the content of the DLC for Scarlet and Violet. And we'll see if we're going to have something similar to Dynamax Adventures. If not in, like, the actual gameplay of it, just in that, like, it being able to shiny hunt legendaries. Because, like, in theory, I just want to hunt everything that I can in Scarlet and Violet. Just, it's the newer game. It just makes the most sense, right? But we'll see. Again, some stuff right now I know for almost a fact I'll have to do in, God, losing my train of thought mid-sentence is always fun. In, like, this game or Sword and Shield. Also, sorry for burping there. Though I do say that I probably shouldn't be doing Raichu now that I think about it. Because there is a chance that Alolan Raichu could be in some sort of thing like that. Or even if, like, there's not a way to shiny hunt Alolan Raichu specifically, maybe there'll be a way to get Alolan forms in Scarlet and Violet in one of the DLC. Like, just some, like, area that you can enter, and then if you evolve your Pikachu there, then it becomes Alolan Raichu. But, oh well. I should check the lease for what Pokemon are, in theory, confirmed. Because someone did do some data mining and was like, oh yeah, no, we can pretty well guess based on how things went down in Sword and Shield exactly what Pokemon are going to be added in the DLCs, but I'll wait till later. I mean, I know Raichu's already in Scarlet and Violet, but something like Marowak, see if that's going to be in it, or Rattata and Raticate. That would actually be a really good idea. I should probably really do that. Kind of like how I probably should have double-checked to make sure that you can see that a Pokemon is shiny before I started this hunt. Like during the trade animation. I'll check that right after we... right after we finish off the set of 50. So I do have 50 Raichu, as well as a 50 Marowak. I don't have the Rattata yet, but that's fine. Rattata are a lot easier to get, because the Marowak required leveling them up, which takes a little bit. And then the Raichu, I keep on wanting to call it Raticate, and it trips me up because as soon as I think it, I know it's wrong, but then I like stone, like, wait, what's it called? But yeah, these things require the Thunderstone, which means you have to go buy a bunch of them. Fortunately, that was easy enough to do, because during the level grinding for the Marowak, it was like, oh yeah, that'll be easy enough. You'll get plenty of money during it, but... but yeah, so that's kind of the plan for right now. Do one of these, maybe every Wednesday, just like start off my week on a bad note, because god, these long hunts just suck. But also, if I don't start my week that way, then I won't want to do it on Sunday, which would be like the only other day I'd probably do it. Because it's like Thursdays, typically there's a raid out. Like this week it's going to be Dittos, but I don't care. It should be like 5 IV Dittos, which are always good, but I don't care. I think I'm at the point where I just don't give a shit about, like, IVs or anything competitive. I just care about my shinies. So, like, yeah, when I, you know, can bring over my 6 IV Ditto from Sword and Shield, I would have to be somewhere in Sword and Shield. Unless I have it in BDSP, which would be weird. But yeah, once I can bring that over to Scarlet and Violet, then I will bring it over. But, like, I just don't care right now. Because, like, ultimately, IVs don't mean anything to me. I'm never going to use my shinies. Like, my thing is that if I'm doing a playthrough of the games, I'm just going to use new Pokemon anyways. Like, Pokemon that I catch. Or if I'm, like, cheesing through a playthrough, then, you know, but then I just really don't care if it's shiny or not. And for anything like raids or something, I mean, most of the time, if I get a shiny, I move it straight over to home anyways, when I'm able to do so. So, I'm not really going to have a Pokemon set up for doing raids that's also going to be shiny for the most part. We'll see. But yeah, anyways, like Wednesdays do this, Thursdays either shiny hunt in Violet or do the raid. Friday I'm not 100% sure, but probably just shiny hunt in Violet. Saturday, or like, yeah, Friday or Saturday will be like Nintendo Switch Online stuff, right? And then whichever the other one is will probably just be shiny hunting. And then same with Sundays, just more shiny hunting. Which is, I guess, getting back into what this channel kind of started as, which was just doing shiny hunts all the time. I just It's sucked for the last few months. I mean, since November. So, well, we're getting close to like 5 months now, where it's just been like, okay, well, I can't move over my Pokemon for Pokemon Home, and I don't really want to do breeding hunts until I can easily delete Pokemon, which is a lot easier with Home. And plus, again, now we have the save glitch in Scarlet, so I don't really want to play that game too much. So it's just, I'm in a awkward spot where it's like, yeah, I can't really do shiny hunts in the new game because there's not much left for me to do. Well, actually, there's plenty for me to do, but I just don't really enjoy the encounter hunts. Like, I didn't mind them very much for the Paradox forms, but for a lot of other stuff, it just seems kind of like more of a pain in the ass. Like, I've done them, obviously, but I don't know. I just don't know how much more there is for me to do. Whereas with breeding, it's like, yeah, okay, maybe it takes longer, but... Oh, I'm very tired. I started very late today. We'll probably only get up to like 200 trades here tonight. And again, we started at 150. Might not even get up to that much. We might only get up to 150. Oh, we'll see. I haven't seen... I should look this up. Because the way they were doing the raids in Scarlet and Violet recently, because how they started was you would have the raid, like the 7-star raid one weekend, and then the next weekend you would have just like a 5-star, and then after that it would be a 7-star, and then after that it'd be a 5-star again, and then 7-star, etc. So it's like every other week. But with the Decidueye stuff, they had it 2 back-to-back weeks. I didn't check to see if they're doing the same thing with Samurott this time around. Because it wouldn't make sense to do with Samurott because it's... Or it wouldn't make sense because of the Ditto raids, right? But then also, I think last week, or the week before rather, they also had, they had either Chansey or Bliss, I forget which one, alongside the Decidueye raids at the same time. So I don't know if that's how they're doing it from now on, that like you have 2 weeks of the 7-star and then also every other week you have an additional 5-star. Because I know they haven't announced what the next 7-star raid is. But I mean, they don't ever announce that until the previous one is completely over. So I don't know if we're going to get that this week. Or like that announced this within the next week, I should say. Or if we're going to get that in 2 weeks. Be interested to see what they do. There's a lot of speculation that it's going to be... whatchamacallit, Typhlosion, which would make sense because they did Samurott, or sorry, they did Decidueye and then Samurott, and then the last of those 3 from Legends Arceus would be Typhlosion. And people predicted what typing it's going to be as well. But we'll see. I have noticed that I do not care at all anymore about the event Pokemon. Not like Mythics, I don't mean like those. Obviously, I care about those just for Pokedex completion, but like pretty soon here we're getting, I forget even what the Pokemon was, but we're getting another Pokemon that was like from a like tournament winning team, which is cool, and I got a lot of those during Sword and Shield. On this generation, I just can't make myself care about it because it's just like, why do I care? I don't know. Because I think my original reason for grabbing him was that, like, oh yeah, maybe someday in the future, you know, I could trade him or something. But I think as soon as I missed one, like, completionist's sake, just I didn't care about it anymore. And also for trading, it's like, well, there's going to be like a million of those. So who cares? And yeah, like, that's probably the same thing with Mightiest Mark. But the thing is, one, I haven't failed a Mightiest Mark yet. I've caught all of them. And also, it's kind of a thing. It's like, well, yeah, but it's actually like playing the game, not just like hit receive gift. I don't know. Or entering a code or something. If there's a shiny Pokemon during that stuff, then I'll absolutely go grab it. Which actually, let me double check real quick. Because I don't think this one is a shiny. This one that's upcoming. Yeah, I don't think so. It's a Palafin, which is cool. And hey, if you haven't been able to get a Palafin yet because of not wanting to do trading or anything, do you need to do trading? I don't think you need to trade for a Palafin. I think you just need to have someone else in your, like, join your game, right? And then evolve it during that. Like, while they're there or something. Or you can just get it from raids, or honestly, you can just mystery trade it. Yeah, no, I'm almost like certain that it's not a normal trade evolution, because I don't think there's a trade code for it, like a lot of the others there is. You know, I double check the music, not music, is actually shuffling. Sometimes Spotify acts really weird with that shit, which is really annoying. Also, I've had a lot of issues recently with Spotify, like, being very stupid with how it interacts with being both on my desktop and on my phone. Where, like, I will literally open up the phone app, sit there for like 10 seconds, so that way it can sync whatever the hell it needs to sync, right? Then go, okay, well, I don't want to listen to that. Let me go to this playlist, hit play. The song will play for like another 10 seconds. It's been probably like at least 20 up to 30 seconds at this point. All of a sudden, it'll finally decide to sync over, and it'll go back and start playing whatever I was last playing on my desktop. It's like, okay, cool. Maybe we could have done this like 30 fucking seconds ago. I forgot to count that last one, by the way. That's me counting this next one. That was never a problem before with Spotify. In fact, I really preferred the fact, and I wish there would just be an option that you could just set it to just don't sync between the desktop and the phone. In terms of like what you're currently playing. Like, yeah, I have my, you know, playlists there. But like, you don't need to sync it. It's fine. Especially because of something like this where like I'm using one almost exclusively for playing music on stream, whereas the other is like for when I actually am listening to music, typically. Usually if I'm on my desktop, I'm just going to listen to like another stream or something, or, you know, a YouTube video or something like that. I don't spend a whole lot of time listening to just like Spotify on my desktop. Even when I'm playing games or something, it's just, yeah, let's throw a stream on in the background. So I'll double check these as I as we get done with this, just to make sure none of them are shiny. I don't really want to spend too much time checking to see if you can tell that it's shiny, because it's, you know, I already started late today. Also, I think we will only do 2 sets of trades today. So I'm only going to do 100 anyway. So, I mean, we're only going to be up to, like, what, 3%, 3.5% chance of having gotten a shiny. Hopefully this doesn't end up like Registeel where I get the 3,800 encounters. I don't remember if it's 38 or 3,900. It was going to be 37. It's more than that, I think. I don't know. It's been over a year since I've done that hunt. I kind of can't remember. Oh, okay. It says I don't have it. Okay. I was just curious what it would say there. Party. Open Pokemon box. I forget if it shows a shiny symbol in here. I almost feel like it does, like next to the name or something. I don't think it shows the sprite as shiny, but I just don't remember. It's been a while. I know this is wasting a lot of time. I'm like 99% certain that there would be some way for me to tell easily, either from the box menu or just when the trade happens. But I don't want to screw myself over and reset when I already had the shiny. Fortunately, as you can tell on the bottom left below my the model and the music bar and stuff next to the count, you can see what a shiny Raichu looks like. It is a very obvious shiny. Oh, interesting. I only just realized there's like a different background depending on the Pokemon. Because you got your Eevee and then you got the, which is normal typing, obviously. Or you can kind of learn, I guess, after seeing others. And then that one's obviously electric type. Anyways, also very surprised to see my Eevee is not level 100 in this. It's quite surprising, actually, because I've spent a good amount of time grinding in this game. So yeah, unfortunately, you do have to reset after every set of trades. And you can do more than 50. I forget what the max number of Pokemon is. I really wish this music wouldn't play. But I guess technically the save hasn't loaded yet, so it doesn't have your settings saved. But yeah, I forget what the max number of Pokemon is. I saw 50 get mentioned when I was looking into this stuff, which makes sense, especially for this one. Maybe Rattata will do a bunch more. We'll see. Because Rattata is very easy to catch. But again, with Pikachu and with Raichu and Marowak, there's a little bit more work that goes into getting them. Especially Marowak, because there's no candies in this game. Raichu, in theory, if you just grind a bunch of money, you can do it. You can get a bunch of them, but which I guess you can also do while trying to get all your Marowak. I guess that's exactly what I did. I already said that earlier. But yeah, I had originally planned on having this be something that I did like in the background of playing other games. Because like obviously there's not much to this. Like it's not even like normal breeding where you have to run around a little bit. You're literally just standing here pressing A. And I was like, oh, well, I have that switch up. Let me just use that. Except you can't use a Pro Controller with this game. And since the switch up makes whatever controller you plug in look like a Pro Controller, that means you can't use it with this game. I considered looking into like some turbo Joy-Cons. But then I was thinking about it also, and it's like, well, the only games I'd really want to do this in, like, as basically what I was going to do was picture-in-picture, right? And just have this be in the bottom left corner underneath my my cam and all that stuff. But I was thinking about it, it's like, well, the only games that really make sense to do this with are other Pokemon games. And I'm not really playing any ROMs as of yet, so everything I'm going to be playing is going to be on my Switch. And I'm not going to set up two Switch. I mean, I literally don't have two Switches to set up, nor do I have two capture cards. So, and I couldn't really do that. Because, yeah. Since this game would be running Eevee, or this console would be running Eevee, I can't play another game on it at the same time and also be streaming it. So, we'll just have to do this the hard way on stream. Because I have seen people that do this, like as a second shiny hunt. People who do multiple shiny hunts, I was like, how? Like, how are you doing this? This would be one that, in theory, is easy to automate, but again, I don't have a turbo controller. I know that there's people who have set it up with, like Lego kits and, like, a little motor on it, and it just, like, presses the button automatically for you. And again, turbo controllers, stuff like that, but it's just like, I don't care enough to set that type of stuff up. I'll probably regret that by the end of this, but again, these are only up to 4 of these that I'll be doing, so not too worried about it. But again, I should probably check those the data mines and see if Rattata or Marowak are going to be in those, especially Rattata, being that would make me able to knock out 2 pretty easily. And in theory, again, as long as we can breed the Alolan forms in Scarlet and Violet, then that won't be an issue. Whereas with Marowak, I mean, based on what we saw in Sword and Shield, with Raichu, Marowak, and Executor, all those being Alolan forms, you weren't able to evolve the normal forms into the Alolan forms in any way. Because unlike Rattata, which is Alolan Rattata and then Alolan Raticate, those previous 3 that I mentioned all evolved from the normal form, the Cantonian form of the species. It just has to be in Alola. And it's the same thing with some of the Hisuian forms as well. So like Hisuian Typhlosion, for instance, going back to what seems to be likely to be the raid for Scarlet and Violet in the future here, pretty soon. Yeah, like Hisuian Typhlosion, the only way to get that is in Legends Arceus. So if you evolve a Quilava into Typhlosion in Scarlet and Violet, once it's available to import, there's not going to be any way, from what we've seen so far, to evolve it into the Hisuian form. It'd be nice. And I kind of do feel like there might be something like that. Something that lets the Alolan and the Hisuian forms evolve like their own special little area. But we'll just have to see. I don't remember if there was anything for Galarian forms that was that evolved from a like Galarian form Pokemon. Like it was Galarian Zigzagoon, Galarian Linoon, and then Obstagoon. Which I guess is a good question. Would you be able to get... I don't know if any of those Pokemon is supposed... or if that evolution line is supposed to be in Scarlet and Violet in those data mines again. Yeah, I wonder if you'd be... well, that's the thing, right? Because you can... Again, you can breed the Galarian forms in theory. Just like you could breed the Alolan forms in Sword and Shield. We assume we'll be able to breed the other Reach. Oh wait, you know what? I don't think we have to assume at all, because Galarian Meowth is in Scarlet and Violet. There's like a like some of the school storyline stuff for Professor Jacques, I think. I believe you get a Galarian Meowth at the end of his thing, and that does give... You can breed that to get other like multiple Galarian Meowths. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything that would be like Raichu or Marowak, where it's a like a different regional, but then if it's in Galar when it evolves, it's the Galarian form. Or a completely different form, even. I don't think so. I don't remember anything like that. But it also kind of doesn't matter to me, because, again, I already have all the Galarian forms. And all the Hisuian forms, for that matter. So that just leaves, again, Alolan and Paldea. Or Paldean. And obviously Paldeans will be able to get. Something I do need to see is when you breed the Tauros forms, if it's a Blaze breed or an Aqua breed, does it carry that over without needing to use Everstone? And if not, can you use Everstone to carry that over? Because I do have I have Paldean Wooper. In fact, I have a few of them, because I got Paldean Wooper, Clodsire, and then also another Paldean Wooper, so I have an extra. You know, that does remind me, don't I have a bunch of extra Slowpoke or something? There was something that I got a bunch of extra shinies of in Sword and Shield for the Galarian forms, because there was one where like it took me a while to get it, and then off stream I was hatching the rest of the eggs that I still had left over, and I got like 3 more in my next like 50 or 100 eggs or something crazy like that. I had a bunch left over. I don't remember if it was Slowpoke or the Galarian, or Slowpoke or the Galarians. Galarian Slowpoke or Galarian Zigzagoon. But yeah, I should look into putting those on Pokemon Home and just like list. Oh wait, that's right. Nope, never mind. Can't do that. Because Pokemon Home is stupid and you can't specifically request a shiny Pokemon. Which is, I don't know, it's just dumb. I get that, like, I guess they don't want to, like, have people asking for, like, here's level 5 Weedle, can I get a, you know, level 50 shiny whatever, but, like, you know, there's already plenty of other nonsense up there. And it would be really nice to be able to just, like, list my, my extra shinies for some other shiny that's, you know, reasonable. You know, just like, hey, here's a Galarian Zigzagoon. Do you have a shiny Alolan Meowth or something? Because I do have other Alolan forms besides these that I'm going to work on Let's Go Eevee. I think I mentioned that at the beginning, but I do still have Meowth in Persian, Diglett and Dugtrio, I think Vulpix I need, and then also Grimer and Muck. But again, those are ones that I can work on in other games. I do kind of want to get this game done with, just so I can get it off my drive, because I am very low on drive space. And yeah, I am very low on drive space. Also, something I was thinking about earlier today, and this is completely not really related, other than I was just thinking about it because of drive space just now. When I launched, I believe it was either the Sega Genesis or the N64 emulators for the NSO stuff a few weeks ago, just to like get those set up, just so I could have them like all good to go and not be worrying about it. I needed, no joke, like 600 megabytes of space just for saves, which makes absolutely zero goddamn sense. And it didn't make any sense when I saw that, because like it was a thing where, again, I forget which one of those it was. It wasn't for both of them combined. It was just one of them. And the system popped up and said, hey, you need to clear space off of your drive here because you need at least this much space to create saves for these emulators. I was like, what the hell? But I moved on from it, whatever. And just for some reason that popped in my head today. And then I remembered, wait a second. Now I don't remember if it was PS1 or PS2 drives, or memory cards rather, that were 8 megabyte. So you're gonna tell me that there's there's at least 100? No, I was gonna say at least 100 different games for N64 or Sega Genesis on the Switch. No, there's not. There's absolutely is nowhere near that number. But also, that wasn't 8 megabytes per save. That was 8 megabytes for the whole thing. You could store a good number of saves on there. So, like, why the hell do I need so much space here? I would assume it has something to do with suspending games or something like that, or the save states that you can do. I'll be honest, I only just this second thought about that, so okay, that would actually add up. Eventually, I would guess. Having like one suspend point per game or whatever, or resume point or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm actually not sure how that stuff works because I've never tried to use it, but... But okay, I guess that would explain why it needs so much space. It still seems like a ridiculous amount, because that's like more than what the games are, I feel like. But anyways. But yeah, hopefully I have enough space for Pokemon Stadium. That's the other thing. I really wish you could just download the games that you want to that and not have to download all of them. Admittedly, though, especially like NES, Game Boy, those games are not very big. In fact, they're extremely small games. Even like N64 games are not going to be very big. But it is a thing of like, well, but it's, you know, space I don't have to use. One thing that kind of sucks is I can't just like remove them. Like, even if I play, like, so for instance, I have all the Game Boy Advance games played currently, right? But I can't really just remove it because then as soon as I do that, they're going to introduce a new game and then I just have to go and re-download it again. So like, ugh. Anyways, we're getting a little bit close to wrapping up here. Again, we're only going to do a couple sets of these tonight. Partially it's because I don't know how much of this I can mentally do every night. This is literally just me sitting here pressing A lot. But also I did start really late. I need to be better about that. I need to be better oh my god. Be better about streaming in general, and also not skipping words and slurring words and skipping vowels and, you know, everything to do with speech. But yeah, like I said, I don't really have much excuse for last week. The week before, I have plenty of excuse. I literally didn't have internet. I physically could not stream, which is part of why it was very easy to not stream as much last week, because once I'm out of, like, the habit of it, I'm really bad about it. And I've been really bad about being in the habit of it for, like, the last year, so... You know, eventually that'll change, maybe. Probably not. But I'll tell myself it will, and that's almost as good, right? Just, like, pledging to donate. Never mind. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. I'm not gonna get involved in that fucking stupid-ass drama where everyone involved is just fucking stupid and awful. But yeah, we'll do some Violet shiny hunting tomorrow. We'll keep working on Sableye. Now, if we get that pretty quick, then we can we'll work on Just a Paradox form, I guess. Probably Iron Thorns, honestly. Fortunately, that should be a little bit easier to tell if it's shiny, as opposed to Sandy Shocks. Because Iron Thorns is the Tyranitar Paradox form. It's found in the same area, though. But, I mean, it looks like a Mecha Godzilla. And it's, like, very green. But then the shiny is completely silver. So it should stand out pretty well. And then from there, I'll just figure out what it is. Because I do already have my Iron Valiant. Thanks to, I believe, AK it was. They traded that over to me for the Sableye, which I now have to get another of. And then the Iron Bundle? Iron Bundle and Iron Presence? Whatever the Delibird Paradox form is. I got that just playing through it. Just happened upon it. Much like with my, it was actually in a very similar spot to my Glimora, whichever one it was. I think Glimmet that I got during my Scarlet playthrough. It was in a very similar spot, and I had a very similar reaction, where I just, like, started panicking and trying to get it. Because I was not at all expecting a shiny at that moment. Where did I find all those Raichus? I just evolved them. I caught a bunch of Pikachus, and then I bought a bunch of Thunderstones. Welcome in, by the way, Tibor. Isn't Raichu shiny locked? Not as far as I know. In fact, I'm like 99% certain they're not shiny locked, because I've seen people get them through these trades. It is a very unlikely shiny, because it is 1 in 4,000. And normally trade Pokemon are going to be shiny locked, but the Alolan form trades in Pikachu and Eevee are not shiny locked. As far as I know, I should double check that tonight. But I'm 99% sure that I've seen it in the past, because that's what gave me the idea to do this. But yeah, unfortunately, Shiny Charm, not Tarm, doesn't have any effect on this hunt. So it is just the full 1 in 4,000 odds. You never caught a shiny before? I mean, they're pretty rare unless you're specifically hunting for them. And even if you are specifically hunting for them, it can still take a while. It's not that surprising. Especially in pretty much anything before like Legends Arceus and Scarlet and Violet, where there's... I guess in this game you can see them in the overworld too, but the shiny odds are very good in Arceus and Scarlet and Violet, and also you can see them in the overworld. This game you can see them in the overworld too, but I feel like they're nowhere near as common. Whereas in the other games, you have to get into a battle with the Pokemon to have any idea if it's shiny. So you're just not gonna see as many just because you just don't have the opportunity to see as many. Alright, wrap up 10 more here, and then we'll wrap it up for the end of the night. It would be really awesome to get this tonight. Definitely would not complain, but for some reason I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, and I will check these again just to make sure none of them are shiny. Again, I'm pretty sure you can see that it's shiny in this screen as well as in this one here. As well as if you actually get the like summary screen for it afterwards. But that only happens when like it updates the stats in some way. Like if you got one that's smaller or bigger than they normally are. You can? Okay, awesome. It's good to confirm that. I'll go over them again. Just be sure, just make sure I didn't miss it somehow, but... You gotta hack shiny from trading. That's how you know. Oh, okay. Because it makes sense, because it is the same trade animation as you would have for any sort of online or in-person trade. I still don't think there will ever be anything as hilarious as the Legends Arceus trade animation. Just because, like, if you aren't expecting that, it's just so absurd. It takes off like a literal rocket. At the end, it will sparkle. I figured as much with that. At least assuming it showed it as shiny in that screen, but yeah, this one is a very obvious shiny. Being with how it's like a dark brown instead of being yellow. Hey, what's up, Xavier? Unfortunately, I'm right about to wrap up. I'm sorry, man. I feel like that happened to you last time, too, when you came in. But welcome back. Glad to see you again. I did not count the last one. Well, that's for this one. Always happens. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, this is like a shorter stream. I started really late, which I guess doesn't really help you at all. But also being what this like hunt is, just pressing A over and over again. I'm not gonna be able to do very long hunts for this one, but I did want to at least get this started, just to get it started. I'm gonna have to do this hunt eventually, anyways, and I'm a little bit light on content for me to stream right now, so I might as well do this one. I would probably check again the box. Yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing. Just going through them all again at the end here, just to double check. Alright, 2 more here. Alright, last one of these for the night. Okay. Party... See, I also have Marowak set up for doing this later as well for that one. So, I'll just go through them. Again, it will be very obvious if it's shiny. Plus, I think there's an icon in like by the name in the bottom right corner too, but being with how obvious it is if the colors on this one are different, I'm more concerned about just looking for that. I'm sure this is just a wonderful sound to hear. At least it's not too terribly loud. Okay, yep, no shinies in that. Oh well, again, it's 1 in 4,000 odds. This is not going to be a very short hunt. This is going to take place over a very long period of time, I feel. Yeah, I'm going to wrap up for the night. Tomorrow, we'll be doing shiny hunting in Scarlet and Violet, or specifically Violet. We'll be working on Sableye, and then also, if we get that, we'll work on Iron Thorns, and then we'll see where we go from there. And then, yeah, Friday or Saturday, I'll work on an NSO game, probably Pokemon Snap, because next week for NSO stuff, I'll be doing Pokemon Stadium. And then, yeah, between, again, Friday or Saturday, I'll be NSO. Whichever one isn't Nintendo Switch Online, I'll do more shiny hunting in Violet, as well as on Sunday. And then next Wednesday, we'll come back to this again. So yeah, that's kind of the schedule for the week. Again, all those are going to be starting kind of a late night. So probably, it's about 2 a.m. for me right now. So typically around like 11 p.m. to midnight or 12:30 or wherever is when I start. This should be a little bit longer, but we'll see. But yeah, and hey, speaking of that, YouTube, since I just went through my schedule, if you're watching this, come check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/PanicosGaming. I try to stream every Wednesday through Sunday. Again, late nights, typically a few hours of each. Mostly shiny hunting, a whole lot of Pokemon stuff, a little bit of just general Nintendo type stuff mixed in there as well. But yeah, for you guys that are watching live, check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@PanicosGaming. Most of my streams are up there, all the ones that are worth uploading anyways. And that's all like Pokemon playthroughs, so Sword, Shield, or Sword specifically, this game, Let's Go Eevee, Scarlet and Violet, the newest one, all that type of stuff. Plus, again, like shiny hunts, trying out some of the NSO games, like the Kirby's and the Mario Karts and stuff. I sound like an old grandma talking about games. Have you played the Kirby's yet? Anyways, wherever you're watching, and regardless if you check out the other channels or not, thank you so very much for checking me out, guys. I do definitely appreciate it so much, and I'll see you guys next time.